place this on it. All right, welcome to our review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I am your host, Johnny Madrid.
And I'm your co-host, Rick Dalton.
And this is our spoiler review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. As you can tell, we're big fans of this movie, or I am at least. I'm not sure.
I am too. No, we'll get to that.
And so, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. And there's a couple things I want to address right off the bat, though, because this movie, without Tarantino, without fail, is always shrouded in controversy.
Yeah.
I don't know if the controversy is warranted in this case, though. A lot of people are upset with their use of Margot Robbie's character as Sharon Tate. I don't think it's warranted because the movie is not really about her.
So what have people been saying about her? I thought a lot of people liked her portrayal.
No, a lot of people were like, she's hardly in it. She has no lines, and they kind of objectify her, which I kind of don't. I didn't see.
So there was a couple times I noticed things, but then I had to have the mindset of like, well, they did that to women back in the 60s.
This movie was made as if it was made back in the 60s.
Yeah, exactly. So I let that slide, but there are shots of like her ass, like he's zooming in on her ass as she's walking, and like, but they did dress like that back then, and they did do shots of women like that. So I kind of let that slide.
People are all like, she's not in the movie enough, but the movie's not about her.
It's not about, and I think a lot of people.
She wasn't even the main story,
right? And same with Charles Manson too.
Yeah, and Manson only had like maybe a minute of screen time,
less than a minute. Yeah,
and it's like the movie is not about that. It's about movies. That's what it's about.
They're the background. Yeah.
And the reason that they serve as background is because because Tarantino is trying to show you, while that's happening in that universe, something else is happening over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's supposed to make you connect that, what Hollywood is dying out, but at the same time, like this real life murder occurred, at the same time.
Yeah.
So they're both kind of juxtaposed because he's using it as symbolism and a metaphor for Hollywood dying.
Yeah.
And people say once the Manson murders were committed, that was the
end of the Summer of Love.
Yeah, that was the end of the hippie movement.
Yeah.
But also when that happened, that was also the end of Hollywood.
And it's kind of the whole Western thing too. Like you kind of really didn't see a lot of Westerns after that. And it's like they're transforming into a new decade of filmmaking, new filmmakers, a lot of independent cinema, independent films at that time. So it's cool to see that like on the cusp of like what he was trying to do.
Yeah. And it's really, him saying, look, this is what leading men looked like and were back in the day.
Yeah.
Now you have Kirk Douglas's and all those other people taking roles that, Rick Dalton should have had.
Right.
You know what I mean? And because of those people, actors like Rick Dalton got phased out.
They did. Yeah.
And so, what he has to do is like he has to revitalize his career by doing grindhouse movies and spaghetti westerns.
Spaghetti westerns, which are so great. Those titles that he used on the little
Albert
posters.
Zolny, Dynamite. I like that one.
Dynamite. That was so funny.
I just thought the Sharon Tate character, out of all of them, which I thought I really liked, she just struck me as a character. Like, she didn't seem like a real person to me.
A real person?
She seemed really airheaded and like,
it's interesting because like
head in the clouds. I didn't like her character that much.
But you also brought up the fact too, like you also pointed this out. I was like, oh my god, I just had it too because you were just talking. We talked about this at the end, and she was just fuck. I don't know. Never mind. I'll cut that out.
Scratch that. Go back to it.
Yeah, go back. Maybe you'll remember. But Deborah Tate, who is Sharon Tate's real sister, like really approved of Margot Robbie. She lent her some jewelry and some things to wear that were of Sharon. And I guess Quinn like bonded with her. He like got her permission. He didn't get Polanski's permission at all. And Polanski's wife is like super pissed about that whole thing, which is another controversy. But he spent time with Deborah and like she gave him like approval. And then she said that she ended up crying because she thought Margot Robbie did such a justice to her sister.
So that's what I was going to say.
Maybe
That's what I was going to say. So you touched on this like after we saw the movie. It was like, well, we didn't really know Sharon Tate very much, like throughout her little span in Hollywood.
Her career, yeah.
We didn't know her, so they treated her like we didn't know her. So like everything we saw was just from a distance.
Yeah.
So there's not really a whole lot to go on off Sharon Tate, and that's what you said
Except
after the movie.
maybe her sister's input.
Yeah, her sister's input exactly,
and I wonder
but
if the ending had something to do also with the sisters.
It could have.
like
Yeah.
Sort of approval, and because it was a really, like, the ending made you go, whoa.
yeah.
Yeah.
You were expecting something totally different.
Yeah, he totally went left field there.
I was not expecting
was-
that at all. I mean, I heard rumors of things, like everyone on like different boards were like, "Oh, the ending was trippy. What did you guys think of that ending?" Everyone, so I had no idea what to expect.
You know,
It's
like this is the same guy that killed Hitler in his movie, so
Yeah.
I was expecting the unexpected. So like, okay, like he's gonna do something that's kind of like left field. I don't know. I really loved this movie. I thought Cliff Booth was awesome.
Oh, okay. Can we just
By
talk
far
about him
my
for a
favorite
second?
character.
How sexy was Brad Pitt in this movie? Holy shit! And when that scene where he takes his shirt off, I was like, "Ow!" Like
Who
he
did
still
he
has
remind you
it.
of?
Robert Redford.
That's exactly.
He looked
who I thought
exactly
he
like
modeled
Robert
him
Redford.
after.
Yeah.
He totally reminded me of Robert Redford.
They look so similar, and they were in a movie together, Spy Game. Do you remember
Yeah,
Spy Game?
yeah.
They totally look alike. God, he was so sexy in this
And then
movie.
I was talking to somebody about the movie, and we commented on that, and then she said, and Leonardo DiCaprio was Jack Nicholson.
Oh, totally. You know what's weird? This is gonna sound really weird. Whole time I was watching that, and you know me, I hate remakes, but I was like, if they ever remade like The Shining again, fucking Leo should play Jack
Yeah.
Torrance. Total, because he could play psychotic. He has that like Nicholson
Like his-
eyebrow look. Yeah,
like he kept making
totally.
those expressions.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
But
Yeah.
the Cliff Booth character, by
Ugh.
far, my
Ugh.
absolute favorite character in that
And he's so
movie.
calm and cool.
That
like,
was the thing, that really was the coolest guy you
Yeah.
ever saw.
like you'd
Yeah.
want to give that guy a blowjob in
And
that car.
even that though,
Yeah.
even that little, part in the movie where he's like, "How old are you?"
Yeah.
like he does the right thing.
He
Yeah.
does,
Like,
yeah.
What the hell? Doesn't take advantage of the young girl.
Yeah.
Who he very easily could have been like, "Oh, you're 18? Okay, cool.
Zip.
Let's do it." And even that, but it didn't feel preachy. It
Right.
felt like that was actually a part of who he was. Like
He had morals.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. Like, how old are you? Questioning her. Yeah, he was the best character.
And so before we move on to I still want to go on to Cliff Booth, but I want to address another controversy, which was the portrayal of Bruce
Like
Lee.
Bruce Lee. Yeah.
And so,
What did you guys think?
Okay, so Shannon Lee
His
came out
his daughter.
and said that she was pissed that he used Bruce Lee in that manner,
Yeah.
and
I
she's
actually felt a little bit like,
yeah. I was like,
it didn't make me think of Bruce Lee.
Do you think it was
really
bad
as-
taste? Do you think it was done in bad
okay,
taste?
so Shannon Lee said that Tarantino never contacted them or asked permission to use Bruce Lee. Mm-hmm. So that's one reason she's pissed, because they're very protective of
course.
Bruce Lee's estate and his image.
Of course.
And so even that shirt with him DJing,
Yeah.
like that had to be approved by her.
That's crazy.
Otherwise, like, no, you're not gonna use that.
Mm-hmm.
Tarantino didn't even bother to ask Sharon Lee.
Why? Why didn't he?
He says in an interview that I found in the Hollywood Report, he said that he did reach out to her, but their estate kept giving him the runaround, so he just shot the scene anyway.
So he was like, I'm over. I'm just going to do it anyway.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna wait. I got a scheduling thing to do, and it's like, well, you've been planning this movie for fucking how many years? Like, you're gonna need that, approval.
You should have known better, right?
Yeah, and I didn't really like the portrayal of Bruce
I
He
didn't either.
I thought he
was-
looked-
I'm kind of a fan. I thought he looked just.
He
like
looked
him,
just
but I'm
like
kind of a
him,
fan
yeah.
of Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I love Bruce Lee.
And I thought this doesn't make me think.
This
of
doesn't
Bruce
line
Lee.
up.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it
line up.
doesn't. But it lines up with.
Okay, so I was gonna set that up too, but before, there was a stuntman that worked on the Green Hornet, and he also gave an interview with the Hollywood Reporter, and he said that the scene with Booth and Lee was in poor taste, and it said that, you know what, Bruce Lee would have never said anything
about
to
Muhammad
Ali because
Yeah.
he said,
Yeah.
according to the stuntman, he said Bruce Lee worshipped the ground that Muhammad Ali walked on, like, and he would never disrespect him because he loved that guy.
And he wouldn't really disrespect anybody,
That's what I was
really.
gonna say.
And
He
it's
was
like-
more of a philosopher,
Yeah,
Yeah.
as opposed to somebody that like a shit talker.
Like
They made
a
him
show-off.
they made him
a
cocky.
show off. He wasn't cocky.
and I think that's
Yeah.
the thing when he confused cockiness, like the arrogance, with confidence,
Yeah.
and I think that's what it was. It's just
I
like.
don't think Tarantino meant it as a actual portrayal of
I
Bruce
don't
Lee.
think-
I thought it was to illustrate Cliff Booth, like more highlight
yeah.
um,
To show Cliff's
Booth
side.
and show his,
His
how
skills.
he could kick anyone's ass, and sort of, which it did. But when I
But
saw
there
the
was a
Bruce
different
Lee
way for him
character-
to handle that, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they could have, he could have written that scene just a little bit better and not make Bruce Lee look like
a douchebag.
like an asshole.
Yeah, they did make him look like an
They made him look
asshole.
like an asshole, like straight
Yeah.
up, and it's like, dude, like I watch interviews on YouTube with Bruce Lee.
He was not like that. It was calm.
He-
Well, and he wasn't known for being like. Even if we never saw an interview with him, his reputation was.
Even people from the Green Hornet came out and said, like, dude, that wasn't Bruce Lee on the set.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee had nothing but love and admiration and respected everyone,
Yeah.
down to the
It was
caterers.
meant to be, more funny.
tongue in
I think
cheek.
it was,
Yeah.
but I do think it was maybe in bad taste given his reputation, and also there was people portrayed sort of exactly how they were, so throwing that in there to be maybe tongue in cheek
Yeah.
didn't really line up, because you're like, okay, who's accurate, who's not accurate,
Right.
because the Manson too, even though he was only there for, I felt like he tried to portray him in a real light too, like the way he might
Might have been.
address
Yeah.
someone or act, or like, oh hey,
Yeah.
based on, I don't know, you know what I mean.
No,
Yeah.
based on facts and what we have.
So you have that one sort of parody thrown in there, like a not real representation, and it's kind of confusing. Like, what?
And it's like, because right around the time, you have like Bruce Lee exploitation. That's a
Yeah.
real genre. We have Bruce Lee, whatever. like all these dudes that look like Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
and then and they fight like him. And Tarantino is a fan of those movies. He loves those movies because he even says that he likes
Bill.
those movies.
Yeah. look at Kill
exactly.
Bill, exactly.
And I honestly feel that the representation of Bruce Lee was supposed to be tongue in cheek,
Yeah.
but it just didn't come off. But it sets up the ending, though.
Absolutely.
And you got to remember, this isn't real Hollywood. This is an alternate reality of Hollywood. And, this is
ties
his own
in-
universe, really.
Yeah. And
This is an alternate reality.
it ties into Sharon Tate because Bruce Lee taught the stunts to Sharon Tate on the Working Crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then there's like crazy rumors that Bruce Lee killed Sharon Tate. Have you heard about this?
No.
There's crazy websites. I know, it's so ridiculous. But there's people out there that think
and
he
the
killed
Earth
her.
is flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell, people?
That's the next episode.
I know,
We cover
right?
How the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a
Killed
very
Sharon
short
Tate.
episode. Yeah, to me, I don't know. That was, but that scene is supposed to set up Booth
Yeah, for the end.
throughout the movie. That's supposed to set
I
it
get
up.
it, because you need somebody that seems indestructible, invincible for Cliff Booth to go up against, and I
Right.
think that's why that choice was made.
Yeah.
Because Bruce Lee is like this, he represents the ultimate tough guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super physical. He can kick anyone's ass. He represents all of that, and then here comes this stunt guy, and
You know who that should
does
have?
him in.
You know who that should have been instead? And I think this would have been fucking hilarious.
Instead of Bruce Lee?
Yeah, instead of Bruce Lee, should have been Chuck Norris.
Oh my god.
That's who it should have been.
That would have been awesome.
But
That's
did
who it
Chuck,
should have been.
Given all those
did
memes?
Chuck do anything in
Yeah.
the 60s?
Well, Chuck
Oh
was
my God,
so
Chuck Norris.
at that same time, Chuck Norris was #1
For what?
martial arts artist in the United
really?
States. He was ranked,
really?
and so Bruce Lee handpicked Chuck Norris to have that fight scene at the Coliseum
my God.
in one of
Do you
his
ever see
latest
all those
movies.
Chuck Norris memes?
Yeah.
those ones?
And so Bruce Lee picked Chuck Norris for that fight
Wow.
scene
That actually
because he
would've
scouted
been
him.
great.
He saw like, you know what, you got talent.
Wow.
I'm gonna display that. And if it wasn't for Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee. I mean, not only that Bruce Lee elevated Chuck Norris, but Chuck Norris elevated Bruce Lee.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
You know what I mean? Because they put each other over.
Yeah.
And that to me,
And
that would have been
based
fucking
on
amazing.
The things, those memes and the jokes about Chuck Norris
Yeah.
and all that would have come across better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
would have
would've
been
been-
a lot more funnier
that
because
would've been
everyone
funny.
would have been in on the
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
Cause
And even Chuck Norris would have been on the joke. He would have been,
yeah. I mean, you would have got it based on all the little, jokes and everything that's said about him and his reputation.
Yeah.
Like, he's the toughest guy, and you don't want to mess with.
That's
Chuck
freaking
Norris.
funny.
That would have been hilarious.
That would have been
I wonder
hilarious.
Why he?
I don't know.
He's prepping for Area 51 right now. So.
Right?
Yeah.
But that would have been good because I mean, Chuck Norris wasn't
He's a
a movie
contact
star at that
champion.
time,
Yeah.
but he was someone that was a martial artist, and he could have easily been on one of those shows as the heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
especially since this is not a real story.
Yeah.
Well, and everybody
It would have
got the
worked.
joke. Everyone
Yeah,
got the
and
joke.
it would have worked.
In real life, do you think Brad Pitt could have kicked Bruce Lee's ass?
No.
No, not at all. I don't think so.
No.
I think that he really was
It would have to
what
take.
he was in movie. I think he was very skilled.
No, he was.
And-
He was very skilled. And the thing is like, it takes a lot for Bruce Lee to fight. It would have taken a lot for Bruce Lee to fight someone in real life.
Yeah, for sure.
See, and that's what I was going to say. That's why when I was watching that scene, I was a little thrown too, because he didn't, and again, I don't know him, of course, but he didn't strike me
As someone that wanted to show
that
off.
would just
Yeah.
be like, oh, you want to fight? Let's go.
Cocky
I'll
motherfucker.
fucking kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like, he struck me more as somebody that would walk away from most fights.
Oh,
'cause
for
he
sure.
has nothing to prove.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a philosophical Sagittarius. By
He was a Sag.
You know-
Brad Pitt's a Sagittarius too.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, his trailer was so dirty. Couldn't you? That scene disgusted me. By the way, I was like,
yeah, it was pretty.
Wow.
that was a gross trailer. Come on, that was like,
That's home.
oh my god.
That's home. That's home.
All
You
right.
should have seen this office before you showed up.
I don't want to.
Yeah, but I think
So we didn't. No one's really talking about Leo. What do you guys think of Leo?
Okay.
My loving Leo.
all right. Well, I'm not done with Cliff Booth yet. So
Okay, we're still getting a Cliff.
Cliff,
Okay.
I love Cliff. I think to me he steals this fucking movie.
Yeah.
This is as much as his movie as it is Leo's.
Yeah.
I love Leo, but I think with this movie, Brad Pitt just, I don't know, he was just something else. You know what I mean?
I think they were a good team
Yeah.
too. You know.
You know what the other funny thing is? That we would have got Pitt and DiCaprio 10 years earlier had Pitt was not busy for filming The Departed. He was going to play Sergeant Dignam,
Oh man, that would have been good.
and we would have got that sooner.
Well, I'm glad.
Departed was good.
I'm glad we got them now, and hopefully they will work again in the future because they had a total like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid kind of vibe.
Yeah,
Like Paul Newman.
you can totally
Robert
tell that
Redford.
they were friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you bought that they were friends.
Yeah.
You know?
And they have that look too. Like they both have that like iconic old school Hollywood men look.
Well,
Yeah.
given I liked Leonardo in this, and I liked his character, but I think given the ending being and the way we were, the way it's set up for the ending,
Mm-hmm.
he was supposed to play second fiddle. I think to Cliff. I think that Cliff Booth was supposed to stand out that much,
Yeah.
and that he was more of a supporting, even though he was a main
Mm-hmm.
character.
He's like his rock, you know?
Yeah, he was the support. He seemed like a supporting character
Yeah.
as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to. But I think, given the ending, it was supposed to be like that.
And as for Leo, I mean, Leo just can't do any wrong.
Of course not. It's Leo.
Like, so I'm not.
I love him.
I wasn't the biggest Leo fan,
You're just
No,
wrong.
no. I mean, it wasn't because of Titanic. I'm not a big fan of Titanic.
Oh my gosh,
I didn't like that
sucked.
movie.
That movie sucked.
I didn't care for his performance in that movie. But it wasn't until I saw him in The Departed.
That late?
Yeah.
You didn't see like Basketball Diaries, This Boy's
No,
Life.
I didn't
Who's
see.
eating Gilbert Grape?
What's Eating
Oh
Gilbert
my
Grape?
God.
Yeah.
Gilbert Grape? Okay, I saw that
That
movie
came out
when I
wrong.
was a kid,
Where's my brain?
but I didn't realize that was Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, really?
The one thing I took away from that was Johnny Depp.
Well, yeah, because he's supporting.
But
And
that,
I didn't-
he was great. Even.
But
He was amazing.
But I
Yeah.
saw that movie when I was like 8, 9 years old, and I didn't know who.
What about
the fuck-
Romeo and Juliet?
I didn't like that movie.
Oh my God, get out!
I love
get
that.
out! We're not friends anymore.
I love that first 10 minutes.
We're not friends.
I love that first 10 minutes, but I cannot stand the dialogue in that movie.
It's
I get
Shakespeare.
it. I know, but it's just to me. It doesn't work though.
It totally works.
It doesn't work.
That's another episode because
It
like
doesn't work.
That's another episode.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
What about
But it
okay?
wasn't-
The
so
Departed
what-
is what got you into Leo.
Because to me, that showed me that he can be someone else than someone that's vulnerable, someone that's that's kind of like. But
I
in
feel
The
he
Departed-
always plays vulnerable characters.
Yeah,
though.
but in The Departed, he's not only vulnerable, he's also a tough guy. He's also someone that's hardened on the inside as well.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So in The Departed, I just love that fucking movie, and I think
That
he
was a
did.
great movie.
I think he held his own with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
With those scenes with Jack Nicholson, he held his own.
Yeah.
His own with him. You know what I mean? And then it wasn't until like I went back and saw Basketball Diaries, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is a fucking awesome movie."
This Boy's Life too.
And-
That one, like,
And then
whoa.
then I found out that he was up for American Psycho,
I heard about that too.
but then he took Titanic.
Yeah, so I'm glad he didn't do American Psycho. That was Christian Bale all the way.
At the time, I couldn't see it because he was a babyface at the time.
He was too good. He was too cute.
He wasn't leathery. He wasn't manly enough. For
Well, I
that
mean,
role, I
Christian
think.
Bale wasn't either, but he just had that demeanor of Patrick Bateman. you
Yeah,
know?
but like Leo just had that youthfulness
Yeah.
about him. It just like you couldn't buy it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it would have worked
It would have.
better. Him being a baby face, like it's more.
Yeah, but he was still a kid though at that time.
He was still pretty young, and the whole thing about like, so Brady Snella said that, not to segue too much, but he was like thinking of Tom Cruise as his inspiration for Patrick Bateman, and you can kind of see that with Christian Bale a little bit
That's
at
funny.
times.
I just saw a clip of
Oh yeah,
the
they
sex scene,
defaked
and they
that.
put Tom Cruise's face.
Are you
on-
serious?
Yeah.
It's
What?
all- It's all
Well,
fully
he's in
disgusting
bed
right
with
now.
I gotta see
girls.
that. I gotta see that
It's all
because
And I
like-
was watching it, and I'm like, "What the hell?
oh my god,
Why
that's
does that look
hilarious.
Just like Tom Cruise."
Because even in the book, Patrick meets Tom Cruise in his building in the elevator.
Does he
yeah.
kill him?
No,
Oh,
but he thinks about it when he's like standing next to him. Yeah, but anyways,
okay. We're gonna have to talk about
yeah,
that.
I would love to do an episode on American Psycho.
So I think Leo, was really good.
Yeah.
I really liked him.
I was cracking up the whole time because he's so like emotional in this because he's like, it's official, buddy, I'm a has-been, and he's like crying on his Brad Pitt's shoulder.
Here's some sunglasses. Don't cry in front of the Mexicans.
And then he's like, all he wants to do is just chill in his pool with like margaritas and like
when
in
he
his
messes
robe.
Up that one line.
Yeah.
Oh, that whole scene.
Yeah, I heard that was improv. When
I
he
don't
when he goes
doubt
in
it.
the trailer.
Excellent at. He does that, I think, in every movie.
Yeah.
He's
There's
all,
part where he
I'm not gonna take a
improv.
drink. He pulls out the flask.
And he-
God damn it, you motherfucker!
And he looks in the mirror and he goes, if you fucking take a drink, you're gonna fucking kill yourself.
Yeah, you motherfucker!
Oh my god, that movie just made me want to drink.
He start kicking shit, and I'm like, dude, like I know that feeling. You know what I mean? Like I've gone out and performed, and I felt that way. So I was like, motherfucker!
Yeah, I'm sure
So
every actor does too.
I relate to that, and I was just like, oh shit. And he goes out there second time, and he fucking nails it.
He nailed it. And he's all proud of himself too.
Yeah.
Like, still got it, Rick.
Yeah.
Ah,
He's all crying.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my god.
great. I
was
loved
cracking
it.
up.
Yeah.
I loved it. Oh man, Leo. And I think this is a perfect role for Leo.
Yeah.
Because at this time, Leo's been hot for so long.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how long will it take for him to be phased out by the next Leonardo
He's never
DiCaprio?
going to be phased out.
You know what I mean?
Never. It's
Like,
never going to happen.
You don't know. I mean, got these other actors coming in, and so who's going to be the next You know,
It's funny 'cause
it's
movie
like
star.
De Niro or Nicholson.
Nicholson,
They're just
yeah.
good. When they're good, they're
Hopkins,
good. And
you know?
there's
yeah, but they're not leading
quite
men
a few-
anymore, though.
I mean,
Nicholson has not had a lead role since '94
maybe he
or
doesn't need
'95.
to anymore.
But then again, he retired.
It's funny because
Yeah,
Brad
you-
Pitt mentioned the same thing. He goes, I'm not really like, they're not. I don't remember the exact thing, but it was just what you were saying. How like he's kind of done. Like now they're bringing in the new guys in. He's kind of the has been now. So it's interesting. But I don't know. I just think there's certain actors that have it and that are timeless.
Yes,
You know what I
that's
mean?
What I mean. So when
So-
you're good, you're good. And,
Exactly.
And so there will always be a kind of a place for you.
So to me, it's like, not only is this movie serve as a metaphor for a love of Hollywood and LA, this also serves as a metaphor for the death of a movie star.
Yeah.
Because nowadays you don't really have big movie stars. It's all brands now.
It's brands now. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who's legitimate the last like genuine movie star?
Tom Cruise.
Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Tom
with Top
Cruise?
Gun
Yeah.
Top Gun 2 coming out.
Tom
you know?
Cruise, Leo.
Brad Pitt. I mean,
Yeah, but his star's kind of fading too.
I don't think so.
I don't think
I
so
don't think
either.
so.
He's coming in he's in another sci-fi film coming out that looks awesome.
Well, let's see if he can still hold it. Ryan Gosling, maybe.
Did you see
might-
that body? I think he still can hold it.
He can hold something, all right.
I mean, yeah.
but
But,
I'm just saying, like, a genuine, like, movie star.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard because they come far in between. A lot of the time now, it's like people go see movies because it's the brand they recognize.
yeah. Or it's like a
not the-
superhero movie.
Yeah,
you know?
and so that's what it
It's
is.
just like music. It goes the same way with music.
Yeah.
You don't have to know how to sing.
Yeah.
They can put you in a studio. and
Artificial.
if you look a certain way.
Milli
they can,
Vanilli,
fiddle.
right?
Yeah.
And,
totally.
I think it's been like that for a little while, where they've just found people that have a certain look that don't necessarily have the talent
Yeah.
for what, and they groom them
Mm-hmm.
for what, but they don't last long. They
Yeah.
fade out.
They do fade
don't
out,
last
yeah.
long. And then the people that we met, and wasn't Dustin Hoffman? No, not
Al
Dustin,
Pacino?
why am I Al Pacino? Why did I say Dustin Hoffman? Al Pacino, who was in
Yeah.
The movie.
this movie, he's another one that I think
That's
probably there'll
timeless.
always be
Yeah.
roles for.
But I just feel like I think we're kind of like coming from different angles. I just think that like stars like Brad Pitt, like they're not up for the roles that they would normally be up
Because they're
for.
older.
Exactly.
Yeah. Same
And
with
so-
women, too.
And women too. And
Women
that's-
get it worse, actually.
Yeah.
What I
After
was gonna
25.
say is I think that men
Yeah.
are quote unquote. I think that is changing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that men are considered more attractive
As they
for
get older.
longer as they get older.
Yeah.
And women are more criticized.
Yeah.
not to like go off
The
track, but
stress
this
of put
actually this
facelifts and things.
this
Yeah.
actually relates. You ever watch that documentary 3248 or whatever, the Alfred Hitchcock documentary?
Oh, yeah,
about
yeah.
the shower scene.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a part in there where Richard Stanley is talking about the death of women in cinema.
Yeah.
And he's saying, in the 20s and the 30s,
Mm-hmm.
into the 50s, you had the women leading the marquee.
Oh, yeah.
And they were always in front. And their names were up there. But
Yep.
then when Psycho came out, then you had men taking
Yeah.
over that marquee spot. And then also having top billed.
Yeah.
And Richard Stanley was saying, not only is Alfred Hitchcock like thinking about that, but he's also telling you that, not only the death with Janet, because it's Janet Leigh,
Yeah.
and she was a big deal.
She was a huge name. Yeah.
And, to have to kill her off in like the first 30 minutes, Richard Stanley was saying, this is what happened to women in cinema. This is exactly the moment
Yeah.
that women died in cinema.
I could see that totally because you had like the Betty Davises, you had the Joan Crawfords, you had, and they fought. They like did not take any shit from anybody.
Yeah.
They had to fight for that money. And then it kind of like 60s happened, 70s. You had like Paul Newman, Robert Redford. You had like Clint Eastwood then approaching. So men did kind of take over. But I do feel like today, like that she was saying, it is changing. You are seeing, thank God it's changing. You are seeing older actresses, Helen Mirren,
engineering.
getting parts.
I actually want to see that new movie she's in. Actually.
Oh, good. See, that's good.
And it's not because like I'm a fan of Helen Mirren. I think she can hold it still. Like I saw her in Red. Jessica Lange.
Yes.
She's really good.
Still.
Meryl
She
Streep.
played Betty
Meryl
Davis in Davis. Betty. Who was it? Like in Rivals Feuds on FX.
Who?
Jessica Lange.
No, Jessica Lange played Joan Crawford, and then Susan Sarandon played Betty Davis.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that to me is like, so women are actually also elevating as well. They're actually getting elevated to a prominent spot as well.
Yeah.
But I'm also saying like, with Tarantino and the way his mind is working, is you can see that lineage in this movie.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And how he misses that shit. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought this movie was a lot of fun. And that ending, holy shit.
Should we talk about the ending?
Okay, so...
Because
Okay, so if you gotten this far, we're going into the ending, so...
So
skip ahead.
At this point in the film, Leo he's listening to Al Pacino's advice. He's taken on doing the spaghetti westerns in Italy. He gets an Italian wife who is Eli Roth's ex-wife. I didn't know that while watching it until I looked at the credits.
Ex-wife?
They got divorced last year.
They just got married.
I know.
What the fuck?
So he brings her back, and then he gives I really liked the scene with Cliff and Rick. He's like, I can't really afford you anymore, buddy. Like you just kind of feel like that heartbreak, like, oh, does that mean their friendship's going to be over? But like they have like that moment together. So Leo tells him like, yeah, I can't really afford you anymore. Cause he not only did his stunts, he was kind of like, he like
his
helped
handler.
him. Yeah. He helped him with everything. So then they're like, why don't we just get drunk? Just
final hurrah.
Yeah. Final hurrah. And so they go to, I like the way he edited this because there's two famous Mexican restaurants down there. Casa Vega, which is on Ventura Boulevard, which I lived like really close to, which is really good. That's the one that Brad Pitt and Leo go to.
Yeah.
And then El Coyote is the other one that Sharon Tate goes to. And they did go there that night, actually, in real life. So they kind of like overlap that. Everyone's doing their own thing. You feel that August heat. And then everybody goes home. And this is kind of where I was like, are they going to have Manson come at this point? Like, what's this ending about? What are they going to do here? So then Leo and Pitt just get drunk. The wife goes to sleep. Brad Pitt smokes
that acid drink.
That acid
There's
thing.
a cigarette that is dipped in acid.
Yeah.
And
he smokes
had been
it.
holding on to.
He's like, is
For
this the
6
night?
months.
Yeah.
Is
Is the night?
the night.
Well, here we go.
And did you feel the dread as the
I
ending
did.
was coming up? Like,
Yeah.
you felt like
When he takes his
Fuck.
dog for a walk.
Like this,
Murders.
like all this,
Yeah.
like you had a really good time
Yeah.
all the way up to this point, and you're laughing. You want Rick to like make a comeback.
Yeah.
You want him to succeed, and then the night shows
August
up,
8th.
and it is superimposed, and
Yeah.
he's letting you know that today's the day.
Yeah, it's going to
You know
happen.
what I mean? Today's the day,
Yeah.
and I'm like, shit.
I know.
And then all of a sudden, my mood just changed. Like, and I got tense. It's like,
Yeah,
oh fuck,
me
this
too.
is-
you just feel like, I don't know if I
Like,
want to.
I don't
'Cause
know
he
if I want to
wasn't-
watch
I
this.
don't
You
know
know,
if I want to watch
He
this.
wasn't violent, and Tarantino films are pretty violent. There's been like no violence yet, really. I mean, you had Brad Pitt kick the shit out of that hippie guy, but that was like it. So you're like, okay, they're gonna do like a bloodbath right now. Like, what's gonna happen?
is he gonna cut?
Is he? Yeah.
Like, I was thinking, like, how's he gonna end this movie?
I
Like,
thought it was gonna cut on the girl walking with the knife,
yeah, so
that's
did I.
where I thought it was
it was
gonna,
like
like,
cut, and
end.
then gonna have the scroll,
like titles or something.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh
Really?
shit.
I
Yeah.
thought he was going to show
I mean,
the murder. I thought he was going to
because the reaction that he got, and he got like a standing ovation
Yeah.
at cons, and I'm like, there's no way in hell you got a standing ovation for that.
I know.
And there's no way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, it's like, what did he do?
Right.
So I'm just anxious, like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen?
I know.
And so, loud ass car drives up to Dalton's neighborhood,
And it's Tex Watson.
and then he hears it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Get the fuck out of here,
But
you fucking hippie!"
He's carrying what this is like my favorite scene. He's fucking drunk already. He's wearing his robe. he's got like a fucking
Picture.
pitcher
of
blender of
margaritas.
margaritas, and he's
Not
just
the
like
cup.
yelling.
He like walks out.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that was like, I love that. Like, that's me in like 20 years, you know? But, or that's me now. But, I
And then
just
they
really
drive
love that.
away, and then they're
Yeah.
like, they go down the hill. It's like, dude, you know who that was? Like, who? I was Rick fucking Dalton that yelled at me.
From Bounty Law?
Really? Rick Dalton?
Yeah.
And then the one in the back had the great idea. You know what? Let's kill the ones that actually showed us about violence
How to
being
kill.
cool.
In the
Yeah.
media.
How to kill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And to me, I thought they were going to go to the wrong house.
Yeah.
And I thought that's how he was going to pivot.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, they went to the wrong fucking house.
Yeah.
They went to Tate's house. And like, oh shit. And then they just went out of control.
Yeah.
But they go up to
Rick's house.
Rick's house. Booth comes back from his acid trip.
With his dog.
With his dog.
Yeah.
And
Actually, it was just kicking in.
oh yeah, I was just kicking in. That's right. It was
So
right.
he's like, motions towards
Yeah.
the
Like,
dog, and then his hand.
in his hands.
The canned food, the dog food. Yeah, so gross. Oh.
And then
That dog was adorable, though.
Yeah.
That was the cutest. Oh my god.
What kind of dog was it?
It
Pit
looked like a
bull?
pit
It was
bull.
like a
But it was
pit bull
big.
boxer. It looked
it looked like a pit bull mixed with a boxer.
and a pit bull mix.
Those will
It
fucking
was-
kill you. Well, we'll get to that, but
Yeah.
Well,
So
I mean, but if you raise them,
If you
to
raise them
be
nice,
sweet,
yeah.
they're sweet.
Yeah.
I think any animal you can turn to. We are not anti-pit bull. I want to.
Oh, no, I love-
no,
no, not at all.
No, not at all.
no, it's the owner, not the animal.
It's the owner,
Yeah.
not the animal.
Yep. Yeah.
Fuck you, people. That
Exactly.
pit bulls are
Again,
horrible
nature.
breed.
It's
Yeah.
nurture.
Fuck
not
nature, nature versus nurture.
Yeah. And so Tex and the girls kick in the door, and Boots holding the dog food.
Yeah,
And then he's what's going on? Are you real?
yeah.
It's like, yeah, real as a fucking donut.
I was cracking up when he
So
said that.
random.
I was cracking up. I was like, "What the fuck?"
What does that even
I remember
mean?
Yeah.
there was actually something like on Movie Web or something where like that line was just like, what the fuck was that guy thinking? Like, real as a donut?
That was
you dumb
hilarious.
fuck?
Maybe that was improv.
Yeah, that could have been
I forgot his
improv.
line.
Yeah, so I'm real as a donut.
I
And
think
Quentin's like, stick with that.
I'm pretty sure you meant to say as real as the hole in the donut
Oh my god.
or something like that.
But then he says the real line that guy said in real life: "I'm the devil and I'm here to do the devil's work," or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, and then he's all like, what the fuck does that even mean? You all Satanists?
And at that point, that's where it threw me, because that's where I was like, okay, none of this happened in real life, so what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
And then all of a sudden, blood ensues,
Yeah.
big fight. Oh,
the
man.
girl's like, and the wife's asleep, and then she hears shit. Rick is like in the pool with his headphones on. He has no
Yeah.
idea.
The whole time.
He's all nodding to music and shit. It's so fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, Boots off. Get him!
Yeah,
and
the
then
dog.
the dog goes and he starts biting on the girl.
That was so great.
I love the
Yeah.
Italian wife's reaction, though. She
Yeah.
comes up and sees one of the girls and it's just like, slaps her. And then she gets on the floor and then she picks up a knife and then she jumps up like a cartoon.
Yeah.
And starts
It got really comical at that point, because then, like, I think the girl that plays, is it Sadie Atkins or Susan Atkins? She like starts screaming her head off and is like crazy and like
Yeah.
very animated.
Well, she didn't do. Wait, was that the pool scene?
But
she
she
was
like gets
screaming. No,
that
the
was
dog.
when
The dog bites
bit
her.
her.
The
Yeah.
dog bites her. Okay.
Yeah.
She's like, ah!
Okay, okay.
It's like all crazy.
And then Booze just smashed Tex's head in
Oh man.
with the dog food. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck.
And then the
that's
redhead
insane.
girl gets it. Was that the girl from Clove Hitch? The redhead?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Look like her. To double check on that. The redhead, the one that Leo
the
makes
girl-
fun of, like, what are you looking at, you ginger bitch or
Ginger
something?
bitch. Yeah. Like the one she investigates with, right?
Yeah.
That would be your
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
I'm kidding. Ginger bitch.
Ginger bitch.
That was, so this gets all violent. Like, this scene is really, this is like Tarantino violent status, you know?
And then all of a sudden, like, she goes through the fucking thing.
Yeah.
The patio
sliding
door.
glass door.
And
And
then
then
falls in the pool and Rick's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Takes his headphones off.
He's still, like, drunk.
And guess what he knows how to use?
The
Oh,
flamethrower.
that was fucking awesome.
And he comes back.
He's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And he goes and gets the
Flamethrower.
flamethrower.
And then
Would that work on water though?
Yeah.
Well, she was up from the water, so
What a
whatever
dumbass! She could have
part-
just sunk in the water. Like you could
But
just you're
there's
in water.
But there's chlorine on there too, so the fire would have stayed on top of the.
But she still could have like dunked her head, you know?
or like gone under.
Yeah.
And swim.
Or maybe she couldn't swim.
Maybe 'cause she's stupid. But yeah,
She's a bitch.
she's
Fuck her.
all those guys are fuck those guys. But
And so it's funny because it was like all of a sudden it's like you see Rick coming out with the flamethrower. I swear to God, everyone was like, "Yeah!"
Yeah.
in the theater.
And the
Yeah.
way he was just like,
Oh,
"What do I do?"
yeah,
Goes and gets it. He's all okay.
and it still works. It still works.
Yeah, it
That was great.
that was awesome.
That and the part with the flamethrower was just
That was
like,
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
and then when you see Booth get hurt,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh
I'm like, if
no!"
he dies, is he gonna die?
Especially when he starts to fade.
Yeah.
But he's so tough. It's like, is he
You're like,
like? Is that how he dies?
I
Is that how?
know.
'Cause
He's like,
so
he's
tough.
playing-
He
he's
doesn't
like playing
show
the role.
anything. Yeah, like he's just like, oh hey. He just looks at the knife like, what?
All calm, like
he's like, "Wait, this is just a normal day at work."
yeah.
You know. And so, like, when you see him like in the ambulance, it's like, "Oh, thank God!" You know, it's like he's alive
He's
still.
good. He's good. He's good to go.
Oh, the
so.
one part that I really do love though is that after the wife goes in the room,
Yeah,
the dog
the dog.
follows,
Yeah.
and she's
Like,
like,
Yeah.
Yeah. they're
and
like,
then
oh.
she lets him in, and she looks out and slams the door again.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was how we wish it would have ended.
Exactly.
And that's why the ending is so great. It's it gives you an alternative, like where you feel. I was talking to someone about it earlier, and like she's like, it made me feel hopeful.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's,
Yeah.
it was such a horrible thing, and
I
it's like,
know.
if only it would have turned out that way.
Yeah.
It's, and I think that's why the ending worked. I want to talk about the part with the
ranch?
commune. The ranch.
That
Yeah,
was a great.
that was gonna
Because that's another part that was set up
really well.
where you thought
You thought he was
felt
going to
like
get killed
this
or something.
Hills Have Eyes
Yeah.
sort of vibe, like a
It had a horror
Texas
vibe the whole
Chainsaw
time.
Massacre sort of vibe. Like there's an old ranch,
Yeah.
and the old house that looks
Spawn Ranch.
yeah, and it and you think. Spoiler alert, but you think the guy is dead
Yeah.
in the back room, like
Yeah.
and he keeps asking about him, and the way it was set up, like you really thought
That was really good.
they were going to gang up on him.
Yeah.
once he-
So Booth. So in the movie, Booth has his run-in with Pussycat, who is one of the Manson girls.
Yeah.
And he sees her throughout the movie. One time he's coming back, and he picks her up and he takes her.
'Cause
And
he's
we already alluded,
hitchhiking,
yeah,
which was very 70s.
and
It was
we already
accepted.
alluded to the fact that he turned her down for a blowjob
Yeah.
on the way as payment, and he's like, I'll just take you there because I already know where you're going.
He's like, yeah, I know the guy, right?
Yeah, he's like, I worked there
Yeah.
before. And so they go out there. Once he pulls into the ranch, it feels like a different movie.
Yeah, it totally does.
It feels like a different movie. It's like, all of a sudden, all the colors is all
It just
drained
felt
out.
real
Yeah.
dark.
Everything's dusty and
Dusty. It's really
Everything's
brown.
gritty, dirty.
red.
dirty. It looks
Everybody's dirty.
Everyone looks dirty.
And then, all of a sudden, it cuts to the house, and there's a bunch of kids
yeah.
watching TV, and you're like, oh,
But you don't really see
shit.
them though, and I like that
No.
he did that with Dakota Fanning. Like you don't really see her at first; you just hear her, and you could tell she's like the leader. She's like, "All right, go check this,"
And it's like, oh shit, what's gonna happen here?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, well, is George still here? And like, yeah. He said, well, do you still live right there? And there's a big house overlooking the studio lot.
Yeah,
And it looks so eerie because it's a big wooden house with long stairs going up.
and it's all like chipped and like falling apart.
The screen door doesn't look like it closes.
Yeah,
And it just, from the get-go, felt like they killed the person
Yeah.
that owned it and took it over. I mean,
Yeah.
it just completely, the whole time,
I'm
that's
like,
all you're thinking is that
like
these
shit,
people
this
are
is
all
gonna end
psychos.
bad for Booth
I
right
know,
now.
I
You're like,
know.
man, halfway through the movie, it's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
this is gonna go left real quick.
Yeah.
And you're like, uh-oh. And then he gets in there, and you see, I didn't even know that was Dakota Fanning at first.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that was Dakota Fanning until I saw the credits. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that was her.
Squeaky, right? She plays Squeaky.
And then she's all, yeah, George is in the back. I was like, okay. He's like, he might be asleep because I fucked his brains out.
So gross.
And I'm like, okay.
Like,
So why is he up? I was like, I put him to sleep because I want to watch FBI. Which was a big show, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
And I get mad when he falls asleep during our TV time or something like that. And the thing that was so funny is when they finally go back, he really is asleep.
Yeah.
And he says just that. She gets mad at me when I fall asleep. So
I just want to make sure he's
taking a fucking nap. Or something.
But you think he's dead at first too because he's just lying in that bed.
The way they show it, he opens the door and he's not even moving, and it's like, and it looks like it smells in there. It's like, oh fuck.
Oh, it looked disgusting.
Yeah, there's like food and dishes and like
you hear flies.
And there's like a rat on the fucking rat trap, like trying to get out. I was like, oh
so you think there must be a dead body in the back that's just been in that room.
Gross.
And then he goes in there, and then. He finds out Spawn's not dead.
Yeah.
So Spawn's alive. And then he's like, I'm blind.
He doesn't even remember him.
Yeah.
And I was like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Cliff Booth. I used to work for you. Who? Cliff Booth.
But it's funny, there's another example of him doing the right thing. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Things were
sketch. Yeah.
And it was only him. But this is a testament to how cool and tough he is. Hits him against how many people were there? Like 30, would you say?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he still is like, I'm going to go check. And
the way they're just staring at him, just when he's walking up, just felt very uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like he was about to get it.
Oh, fuck.
And that kind of had, that was kind of a good homage to, Western films, too. A guy shows up in this town, it's all dusty.
All of a sudden, the town
everyone's
out.
The town all comes out and
totally had that vibe, you know?
I can totally see that. And then, it's funny, too, because then he's all, Squeaky, is that the little redhead that's out in the living room? So, I'm blind, you dumb fuck. How the fuck would I know she was a redhead? It's like, oh, that's right. My bad.
So that role was supposed to be for
Burt Reynolds.
For Burt Reynolds, and then he died. But Bruce Dern is really good, too. So Bruce Dern got it.
Yeah, and so I really liked... Yeah, I really wish that would have been Burt Reynolds.
I know.
I don't know. He was good in it.
No, I like Bruce Dern.
Bruce Dern was good. Yeah.
I thought Bruce Dern added...
And he looked more like the real guy, too. You know? George Spawn, I think that's his name. Yeah, he looked more
Burt
like
Reynolds
that guy.
would have been great, too, but I thought he...
I think Bruce Dern just had that smart ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, how the fuck would I know?
Yeah. Totally.
And then I just want to make sure these hippies ain't taking advantage of you. It's fine.
One thing I want to touch on that no one's brought up.
Okay.
Cliff Booth's wife dying.
Natalie Wood?
But I think it was based on Natalie Wood, even though that
was supposed to be based on
Natalie Wood.
But that scene, though, do you think he killed her? Do you think he didn't? And he's got his, snorkeling. I was, dying at the scene.
Where he's sitting there.
Yeah, and
she's
he's
like,
you want to fucking fight? I want to fight. And he's sitting there with his little mask.
With his sunglasses, and he's got the spear gun in his hand. Is like,
I was like, that's so Rudy. Yeah.
And so I was actually going to bring that up too,
because that's very subtle through the whole. But that's a dig at
that's
Robert Wagner.
The thing is that is another, just like the Bruce Lee part.
Yeah,
Natalie Wood was not like that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
She was super sweet.
Yeah,
she was supposedly
she wasn't blonde.
Super sweet.
Yeah,
super. Got along with everybody. Everyone fell in love with her.
Yeah.
So that portrayal of her was also, or that
heightened
character was, not realistic also.
Right.
Or based in the truth.
Yeah, and also Natalie Wood died 20 years after the fact.
Yeah. And it was Robert Wagner and Christopher Walken on the boat.
Yeah. And only one of those careers survived.
Yeah, and only one of them knows the truth.
Actually, both of them.
Both of them, but I mean, one of them won't admit it. So, anyways,
that's another episode.
That's
Truth Exposed.
Another thing too, there were scenes in the trailer that weren't in the movie.
What scene?
So there's a scene where Sharon's dancing with a crazy black and white psychedelic background.
Okay, so
they didn't show that.
Okay, so now reports are coming out now that Quentin Tarantino, since like The Hateful Eight, he did like a 4-hour thing.
They're doing that with Once Upon a Time.
They're doing that with Once Upon a Time.
Because Manson's supposed to have more scenes too.
Yeah, Manson actually had a lot of his scenes cut.
Yeah.
So did Tim Roth.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Tim Roth in this movie.
And I saw James Remar's name, but who was?
He was in the beginning. He was the guy that Rick Dalton hits at the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
At the table.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's gonna do another 4-part series for
Interesting.
Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And so when that comes out,
Definitely watch that.
they're definitely gonna do that. But I think that Kurt Russell was awesome in this movie. Also.
I love him.
I love his wife Zoe Bell.
Yeah.
Okay, but going back to the Bruce Lee fight,
Yeah.
you know, so
great.
Bruce Lee wins
My
one.
fucking car.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee wins one, and then he's like, "You want to try that again?" Bruce Lee goes, and then he grabs Bruce Lee's leg and swings him to the car.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Smashes the
whole front
side, which is another I thought was a testament, kind of showing how tough,
and strong.
illustrating how tough Bruce Lee is supposed to be. Also,
Yeah.
because he completely smashes the whole side of the car, and
he
then
gets
he gets up,
and he now sells it. And
dusts
he's like, let's
himself
go.
off.
And then they
But
get
the
into
car's demolished.
and then they get into a fight, and then all of a sudden, like, what the fuck? And then she looks at her car, like, what the fuck did you do to my car?
I thought that was funny to have her because she's a stunt woman. She does
Yeah.
the stunts for Uma Thurman, so that was cute how they like did that. And then Kurt Russell did Stuntman Mike, and in this he's Stuntman Randy. But then why? So one thing I don't know why they did this. Why did he decide to do a voiceover halfway in the film with Kurt Russell's
He did the
voice?
same thing with Hateful Eight and,
Oh, did he?
and
I didn't see
Glorious
that.
Bastards. So
It's interesting to do that, though, don't you think?
Yeah, but there's actually a voiceover at the beginning of the film because it sets you up. Because
But that was just for NBC, right?
no. Actually, when he has that meeting with Schwartz,
Yeah.
and he says, "Oh yeah, no, Cliff is just my driver," you know, and then it goes bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking the reason Cliff's around is because Rick Dalton fucking gets too many DUIs,
Yeah.
or something like that. And then, so, like, he sets you up for that voiceover, so you know that voiceover is going to happen again.
Okay.
So, again, he did that with Hateful Eight, and then he did that with Inglourious Bastards.
And Kurt Russell has such a great voice. He has such an amazing. He's like a.
This is the only Tarantino film where, besides Reservoir Dogs, that Jackson is nowhere to be seen or heard.
Oh. Interesting.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
I'm like, oh man, like this is the only film that.
Dude, was he in any scenes that were cut?
No, he was not even credited.
Huh.
I wonder if it's because if he was still busy on
Maybe he was doing
Marvel shit,
Yeah.
Oh, he could have been. Yeah.
or because when he does the narration, he
Yeah.
uses Jackson's voice.
Yeah. He had
He did that for Inglourious Bastards. Even though he's not in the film,
Yeah.
he narrates certain scenes.
He had Michael Madsen in it, though, which was cool. And I think that's Michael Madsen's real car
Yeah,
in real
that's
life.
their car.
That's really cool.
That's the same car they use in Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love Michael Madsen.
And I love how they drive it so gingerly, but then
Yeah.
when Brad Pitt gets in his car, he starts...
Yeah.
starts
How did they do that scene where he like backs up like how did they do that?
I have no fucking idea.
And was that Brad Pitt or was that a stunt guy?
I
like,
have no
It was
idea.
Cliff Booth.
It was Cliff Booth.
Cliff Booth. The real Cliff Booth.
Oh man.
I just think this movie was awesome.
I definitely want to see it again.
Yeah, I do too.
And I rarely say that, but I feel like because there's so much going on in the background too. Like I want to
I
catch.
felt at the end of it almost like I missed things.
Yeah.
Because I would be so taken with
with
one thing.
exactly.
I want to talk about that little girl and that
was good.
little scene between Trudy
I don't
and
know.
Rick.
You know,
I liked her.
You
but
don't
I,
like kids anyway.
No,
so get the fuck
come
out
on.
of here.
I thought she was good at certain moments, but then other moments she wasn't so great. So like I don't know. It was she was kind of overdoing it a little bit. Who was she supposed to be like? What's her name from Melissa Gilbert? Was she supposed to be like her?
That character?
Yeah,
from Lancer?
from Little House. No, I thought she was supposed to be like Little House on the Prairie.
No. She was actually in that show, Lancer.
But I wonder if that actress was really like that.
No, I don't.
Because I think Melissa
I think
Gilbert
she-
was very
I
mature
don't-
for her age.
I don't think that was supposed to be based on anyone. I think that was just someone that was just non-canon.
Oh, okay.
But I really like that back and forth because the book that Rick's reading
Yeah.
is really a testament to how
It's him.
he sees it. And
Yeah.
it's like, and it goes back to his meeting with Schwartz, where it's like, yeah, I'm no one, you know,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna be guest starring on shows and getting my ass kicked. Like, man, like I need to do something.
Yeah.
You know, and then reading that book and telling her what the book's about, he slowly realizes like, shit, I really need to go to Italy
Yeah.
if I'm gonna have a career.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I just like that scene because it's really nice foreshadowing for him.
Yeah, for sure.
And then toward the end, it's like he cracks. And it's like, you know, I'll just go.
And it still shows like his vulnerability too.
Yeah, and he's trying not to break in front of her, but he does.
He does.
He
Then
does.
she's like,
Pumpkin puss.
I know you're kind of vulnerable right now, but I'm gonna let that slide.
And this was Luke Perry's last film, and that was really nice to see him in a little cameo like that.
Man, I kind of wish there was a little bit more.
I do
Luke Perry.
too.
I think there's more of him in there somewhere.
And he had such a cool outfit on too.
Yeah,
I love I'm a big Western fan, so I just love like everybody's Western
for some
outfits.
reason I saw his outfit. Maybe I'm thinking of it, but I thought of David Bowie. I don't know why.
Oh, I could see that, like the all white, like when he was in the
like
Duke
that.
ages.
Yeah, it made me think of David Bowie.
And his hair was kind of blonde too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could totally see that. Yeah. I was
So,
gonna say something else though. Shit, what was it?
Anything else?
Yes.
What?
You didn't see La La Land, right?
No.
So totally different movies, right? But this kind of had that same vibe. It had that love of LA. If you watch La La Land, there's a bunch of stuff in the background that you see, like murals with Marilyn Monroe, James Dean, and just a bunch of like old Hollywood classic stuff. And I feel like he did that in this as well. Lots of visual stuff and like actors. So I don't know, like the vibe was kind of La La Land-ish, even though they're like totally separate genres, but it just kind of had that vibe to me.
I feel like Tarantino grew up in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked in a movie store for 20 years before he got his big break.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, this is someone that really understands the business and someone that really understands LA.
Yeah.
And what made LA great.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel that a lot of people are just looking for things to pick on. And
for sure.
And take apart this movie. It's like, the movie, yes, there are real characters in this movie, but it's not a real story. And to me, that's really hard because with a lot of adaptations on someone's real life, you have to make adaptations and improvise a lot of other things. But it's just so hard to deal when you're dealing with real people.
It is, and that's why I was telling like The Haunting of Sharon Tate, like that to me, this one I thought was in better taste once upon a time because he didn't do what they did. What they did was just like really exploit. Yeah, and I'm just like, I can't believe this was like, it really bothered me. But this one, he doesn't bother you as much. The Bruce Lee thing, I definitely can see, but like her didn't, like none of that bothered me. But and then people were complaining like, oh, there's too much driving. Hello, have you lived in LA? That's all you fucking do.
Is drive.
And you're in traffic.
You're lucky you didn't shoot a scene where someone was stuck in traffic for fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Falling down.
I love that movie so much. That's
that
one of my
That
favorite
is
movies.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
That's a good summer movie, by the way.
And there's another actor right there.
Yeah.
Michael
Douglas. Yeah.
But notice we're naming only men.
Well, this was
The only men that we've thought of that are actors that last.
Yeah, but no, we met. Yeah, but
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
No, we can think of Helen Mirren.
But
here's the thing about Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren came out and she didn't become a fucking big star till like well into her 40s.
Yeah, Teaching
Or
Mrs.
50s.
Tingle kind of like put her back on the.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like Helen Mirren is kind of like the exception to the rule because like she's still in movies to this day. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think
I think her staying
I
power has a lot to do with her refusal to buy into the idea of beauty.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she sort of transcends it, and I think she's absolutely beautiful and attractive.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like that nude picture of her in the bathtub.
I haven't seen that.
And she's, how old is she there? I mean, she must be. She's definitely
recent?
older.
Was it
She's
like
and
full
she's
nude?
Yeah, she's
Wow.
in the bathtub.
Leo
and
should
you'd
do
see-
one in the bathtub.
wow.
Not to segue, but what's all that about Leo and how he will never date anyone over 25?
I know.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: I follow some pages on Instagram of feminists, and there was some uproar about that. But the thing is he never said that.
No,
in his defense, he never said, I won't date anyone over 25.
Yeah.
He does, I guess they do happen to be younger.
Yeah.
But, sometimes that happens. Wink, wink.
And they said, he only dates blondes.
I'm like, I have that problem.
They said he only dates blondes, but his new girlfriend is brunette, so...
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot. I feel like we don't know a lot about him.
He's very
in some
secretive.
ways.
He's a Scorpio. But if you look at his interviews, he looks like he's always holding like the world's darkest secret, and like that he knows that secret, and he's not going to tell
It's
anybody.
all squinting and shit.
Yeah, and he's usually crossed like this, and that means distance and like space and uncomfortable. Because I was watching an interview with Brad. Brad is like all relaxed with his legs out like this, like all relaxed. And Margot Robbie was like, feminine. And Leo's just like this, crossing arms and stuff. But he always looks like he knows like the world's darkest secret. But
And, he never really said,
he's very private.
His reasoning.
He's very private.
Yeah.
If you look at his Instagram, it's
relate to
all
that.
about the environment.
I do not. Yeah.
And
Which is cool.
Which is awesome. And he does a lot for the environment. But he doesn't tell anybody about his personal life. Like... Nothing.
Completely have.
Same with Ryan
he
Gosling.
Doesn't owe us any. Who's also a Scorpio.
So it's a Scorpio.
Funny.
It's a Scorpio thing.
It's definitely. I can attest that that's definitely.
Yeah.
I do not like people being in my business. So the way to me, he never said that, and he's never. They're reading a lot into.
Yeah.
We don't know his. We don't,
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I can attest to having being a high energy person. And sometimes being attracted to somebody who's younger because their energy level is the same as mine. And can keep up with... I feel like sometimes when people are older, they want to stay home and watch a lot of the same things I don't have in common.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I'll date anyone. No.
You hear that? No. But... Yeah, I really enjoyed.
No, I'm kidding.
I really enjoyed everybody's performance in this, and I thought it was fun. I love the music. I just love the vibe of it. It made me want a margarita.
The fucking soundtrack is fucking awesome.
And the trailer soundtrack is good too, because he didn't use some of those songs in the movie.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't use Neil Diamond.
Which one was that?
On an August night and the leaves are, the song.
Yeah,
where
he did.
He didn't use that.
Yeah, he did.
What scene?
It was a scene where Booth was on the roof.
Did he?
Yeah, he
I
played
don't remember.
it. Yeah, that was the one.
That's because you were too busy watching the
He was taking his shirt off.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hear.
Yeah. Did you see that part where he took his shirt off? You don't even remember the music or anything.
Yeah, I was like, what the
You're all...
I'm just looking at his torso, man.
Are
Yeah,
the
she's
pants?
fucking blushing too.
Are the pants
Stop
going
it.
too? And then he's the greasy
Stop
straight.
it. Anyway,
Brad
it's really
Pitt's
hot
body
in
with
here.
The greasy stranger in the lower half.
It's really hot in here right now.
Chicken legs in an elephant trunk.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
And I will say this.
That's what he looked like.
I will say this. Although this movie was long, it didn't feel like it.
Didn't feel long
while watching it. I think because if you're into something, it won't seem long. If you're not into it, you're gonna think it's like really
the kitchen,
long.
which felt very long. But that's another episode that might see the light of day.
Shaking my head.
So what would you rate this?
4 Z's out of 5.
4 Z's out of 5?
Yeah, 4 Z's out of 5. I think the Bruce Lee thing was the Bruce Lee portrayal really bugged me.
Yeah.
And I think also there's a few moments where I wish it was a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. Just because
like which
like I wanted to see I was actually more interested in Dalton's day in Lancer. I wanted to see more.
I liked those scenes.
I wanted to see more of Timothy Olyphant and Luke Perry.
Me too.
I wanted to see a little bit more of those. I thought I think there was like a really good I think there's some good scenes in there somewhere. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I love the soundtrack. I think is this Tarantino's best movie? Yeah, I'll have to say so. I think so.
Really?
And you only gave it 4 Z's?
Yeah, I just because of the Bruce Lee thing, and there's a few characters out there that I wish that were just fleshed out a little more, like Al Pacino's character,
like Lena Dunham.
Yeah. Also, Rebecca Gayheart. Where the fuck was she?
Wait, what? She was supposed
Yeah,
to be
exactly.
What?
Yeah. She played Billy Booth.
That got cut.
Yeah, because I did not see Rebecca Gayheart at all.
I didn't see her in there either.
I didn't see Tim Roth. I didn't.
His got cut. He was the butler, right? He was a butler of somebody.
I don't no idea. And then there were a lot of actresses that played the Manson people.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see Damien Hernand's portrayal of Manson.
I did too, and I get why.
I understand.
I understand why he didn't show it too much.
And also the movie's not about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I want a little, like, he doesn't even say anything. He just goes like that.
Yeah,
like,
and so to me, it's like, okay, well.
Yeah. But he is going to be in the new Mindhunter season, so look forward.
I don't think that's him.
Oh, it's him.
No, it's not.
Same actor.
We're going to have to make a bet on that.
I will bet you $100 that is the same actor, and that's him, and he's going to be Charles Manson in the new Mindhunter season. That's coming out next Friday, I believe. Not this Friday.
We will find out on the next episode of who's $100 richer.
Me. But I just want to say something really quick, though. I am really happy Emile Hirsch and Leo were acting, because I always thought Emile Hirsch had a Leo vibe. If you ever saw the girl... Leo. No, if you ever saw like the girl next door, if you ever saw the girl next door with Timothy Olyphant's also in, and Emile Hirsch,
the one
Alicia
with...
Cuthbert,
she's
a super cute movie. He had such a Leo vibe in that. And I don't know, they have like the same voice, same kind of like face. So I'm really glad that they were. I
like Emile Hirsch. I think he's a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him in Autopsy of Jane Doe. I thought he was good in Alpha Dog.
And Into the Wild, he was really good.
Didn't see that, but the two movies that I did see though, I think he has like real star quality, and I think he has potential.
He's a great actor.
I don't know why no one puts him in movies. Like, that's one of those things. It's like, man, he's good. He can be good.
Yeah, I mean, he got fame with The Girl Next Door and Into the Wild, and then after that, it kind of like fizzled out a little bit.
He did Alpha Dog, and that's what fucked him up.
Alpha Dog, I could see why that fucked him up.
That movie fucked his ass up.
I could see that,
guaranteed.
Yeah,
because that was not a good movie.
No, and those were based on real people.
And that was actually, and the way they shot that movie was actually kind of weird. But
yeah,
I digress. But I like Emile Hirsch. I think he deserves more opportunities for sure. Margot Robbie, her stars only begin to rise, and
dirty feet. Those feet scenes were gross.
I was not gonna bring that up.
I do not understand why Tarantino has a foot fetish. I just will never understand.
I never even noticed that.
Every
Where
movie,
did that even come from?
Every movie, he has woman's feet. Every movie.
I never noticed that.
Kill Bill, Pulp Fiction, Death Proof. Oh my God, there's like, and it's always trashy. I hate, my mom always taught me this.
Okay, with Death
Trashy girls put their feet up on the windshield.
I understand that with Death Proof because he's objectifying the women.
Pulp Fiction.
That's why. But I'm saying it's more prevalent in Death Proof because it's prevalent to stuntman Mike.
Right.
It's supposed to be, from his point of view, you're supposed to be looking at the eyes through stuntman Mike.
Right.
That's why he's eyeing the legs. And then if you notice, when they die, those are the first limbs that get cut off.
Yeah. And so Kill Bill as well, wiggle your big toe. He loves Uma Thurman's feet. I mean, there's some others that I just can't remember. Every film he has a woman's feet, and they're so prominent. You gotta go back, because like a lot of people talk about this too. Like, why is he have such a foot fetish?
The wiggle your big toe is kind of like...
Type in Quentin Tarantino foot fetish. There's even a photo of Quentin with a woman with her feet in his face on Google Images, if you go on there. He's obsessed with feet. It's the weirdest thing.
So what? He likes to suck on toes. Who cares? So what? Who cares?
So gross. Disgusting. Ew. Next.
Who cares?
But I will give this 4 snaps, because I really liked this as well. I mean, kind of like wow, we're actually agreeing today. I didn't think that was like possible, because like all of the things you pointed out are the things that I thought were wrong with it too, and the things that I liked. So we're on the same page for once. Huh.
Yeah.
Golly gee Willikers.
For one time. But yeah, this movie is really good. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, excellent fucking movie.
Do you think they'll get nominated for anything?
If Brad Pitt does not get nominated for Best Supporting Actor, man, that's a fucking crime.
Protest.
That's a crime because wow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's one of his best performances to date.
Yeah. Hands down.
All right, well, that's our show. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I am Johnny Madrid with
Rick Dalton.
and with our producer Al Schwartz.
Schwartz.
Now you're the producer, so you gotta have that producer name. All right, well, we are out of here.
Bye.